Silas and Nolan, traveling under their forged Canadian identities, moved inland with the patience of men who understood logistics. They drove long stretches in a cheap cash-bought SUV, avoiding toll roads and cameras, constantly shifting their schedule. Silas used the journey to absorb Nolan's operational intelligence. Nolan, terrified of Ethelred's unforgiving nature, was a willing asset, providing details on sensor frequencies, guard shift rotations, and the precise schematics of the Adirondack Command Center, a facility disguised as a high-tech logistics firm. The target was a reinforced server bunker beneath the main campus, building the architect's blueprint, containing the encrypted database of Ethelred S assets and operations. If Silas could destroy that server, he wouldn't just be free, he would cripple the organization. They arrived near the facility on the 26th, a text the day of Silas's shore leave. The rugged, isolated terrain of the Adirondacks was a far cry from the cramped steel decks of the ironclad. But Silas saw the same challenges: leverage, concealment, and fixed geometry. Silas made his final preparations using gear sourced from local supply stores, ropes, heavy-duty cutting shears, and a specialized, high-powered drill purchased from a mining supply shop. He left Nolan, securely tied but otherwise unharmed, at a predetermined rally point, his insurance policy. He approached the facility from the steep, densely wooded north face, where the terrain was considered too difficult for a security perimeter. He carried his only professional tool, a customized pneumatic injector, a smaller, lighter version of the one used on Thorn. The facility was ringed by a high electric fence. Silas used the industrial shears to clip the thick perimeter wire, not cutting through, but creating a clean, seamless break that would not trigger the low-frequency electrical grid sensors. He then used his Dyneema line, the same material that tied his garrots, to safely pull the section of fence aside. Silas entered the complex through a rarely used loading dock, guided by Nolan's memory. He moved through the silent, climate-controlled halls, avoiding laser grids and thermal sensors. He wasn't relying on brute force. He was relying on Nolan's schematics and the mate's sense of timing. He reached the primary server room on the lowest level, a chilled vault guarded by a heavy, reinforced steel door and a biometric scanner. The scanner was useless, but the door was the problem. Instead of trying to breach the door, Silas used Nolan's intelligence to target the ventilation system. He located the main titanium air duct leading into the server room, which was protected only by standard grate bolts. Using the diamond-tipped mining drill, he bored a clean 4-inch hole into the side of the duct, a sound muffled by the complex's constant hum. He then deployed a small, custom thermite charge, not to burn, but to vaporize the metal around the cut line. The charge created a clean, surgical opening. Silas reached into the duct and dropped a single, small device wrapped in heavy insulation. It was a high-frequency, cascading EMP emitter, built to fry server hardware, not human beings. He didn't wait for the effect. He retreated the way he came, moving with the same silent speed he used to shed his identity on the docks. He had done his job. The mate's precision had led the assassin to the kill switch. As Silas reached the perimeter fence, he heard the facility's interior systems suddenly flatline. The lights flickered, the ventilation stopped, and the security alarms, instead of blaring, gave a choked, static sputter, the sound of every electronic brain being instantly cooked. He retrieved Nolan from the rendezvous point and pushed the remote detonator for the main server room, a secondary charge he de-rigged to explode once the EMP fried the primary systems. The sound was a dull, satisfying thump that was instantly absorbed by the mountain air. The architect's blueprint was erased. The Ethelred group was blind, crippled, and scrambling. Silas left Nolan with enough cash and documentation to disappear, not as an act of mercy, but as a silent professional contract fulfillment. Nolan, now an enemy of the Ethelred group, was free to vanish. Silas returned to the coast alone. The sinking of the ironclad was being investigated as a maritime accident. The Ethelred group was now fighting a silent, catastrophic internal collapse. Silas had done his 28 days on the tug, and he had completed his 28 days off. He was now just Ethan Bell, a quiet, disciplined man with a lot of money and a clean slate. He purchased a small, anonymous sailboat. He had all the skills of a mate, the anonymity of an assassin, and the entire ocean for a sanctuary.